every time you sit down to your desk and you're going to make something, you're going to draw, paint, whatever, it has to be perfect. And I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. I feel like I don't want to mess up the paper, the perfect white paper, or I don't want to mess up the sketchbook. Like, if I draw one thing that I don't think looks good in this sketchbook, it's going to ruin the entire thing, and I can never ever draw on it again. I know I'm not the only one who thinks that way. But isn't that ridiculous? Like, I feel like social media has put this thought in our head that every single thing we have to do needs to be amazing. It needs to get millions of views, millions of likes, and it needs to be the greatest thing that has ever been created in the history of creation. And it's ridiculous. Like, it is art. That is the fun of it. And I feel like if you take the ability to just make whatever you want and just throw something on a canvas or throw something on a piece of paper just because you feel that certain way in that moment, if you take that away and replace that with it needs to be perfect all the time, you're taking away the very thing that art is, and it's just creativeness and funness. And when you sit down and try to make everything perfect all the time, you're not, I think, you're not improving your skills, you're not moving your little brain around, getting it thinking, stirring up new ideas. You're not doing any of that. And all those things are what art is. It makes you feel something. And when you're trying to make something perfect and make something that you think other people will want to look at or other people will want to share and like on Instagram and like on YouTube and all that stuff, that you're taking away what's amazing about art, which is it doesn't have to be anything. It can be whatever you want it to be, and it can be nothing. It doesn't have to be pretty to look at. I think it needs to come from a true place within you. It doesn't need to be you trying to make somebody happy in drawing it. Like, I want to draw this so people look at it and they think a certain way, and no, that's ridiculous. I think it just needs to come out of you, and you don't really think about it too much. I think people overthink it. I used to do the same thing, overthink it. And until I started posting more videos on here, I always did that. And I was like, everything I have to do has to be perfect. And if the first line I put on the paper doesn't make me happy, I'm just going to shred it up and throw it in the trash. And that's you just don't think that way. It takes so much away from the experience of art, and from you. It honestly, it robs you of just wanting to sit down and make something just to make something. Whether you sit down, make something, and just nobody in the world ever sees it, well, who cares? Because at least you got those feelings down on the paper. You know what I mean? I just think it's so important that people... I wish I could have told myself that when I was younger, that it doesn't have to be perfect. And because that even discourages me sometimes, or well, it used to, from drawing at all. I don't know, like, or I'll see something in my head and I can't, like, it's not transferring to the paper the way I want it to. And it just makes me mad. I'm like, well, I don't want to draw anymore. I'm just going to quit. And that's such a bad way of thinking. Like, don't think like that. Just whatever comes out is what comes out. It doesn't have to be exactly what you saw in your head. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just put something on the paper. And that's how you get better, truly. I mean, I think one of the things I used to do is I'm like, okay, I'm really good at ink drawings, so I'm only going to do ink drawings, because if every time I sit down it has to be perfect, why wouldn't I do the thing that I'm the best at, which is ink drawings? Like, I'm not going to sit down wanting to make something amazing and use paint, because I'm no good at paint. And so that would discourage me from wanting to paint or wanting to use clay or wanting to do any other kind of thing besides ink drawings. And I feel like that way of thinking just really limits you as an artist, because like I said, you want to make something that's amazing. So my point is, like, don't think like that. Like, if I could go back and tell myself, I'd be like, stop thinking like that. It's ridiculous. You like to do art. You like to draw. You like to sit there, listen to music, and just put lines on paper. And I feel like I wish I could have told myself, don't think like that. Just go enjoy doing it because you like doing it. Don't worry about making somebody else feel a certain way or da-da-da-da-da. It doesn't matter. It's about you. You're the creator of it. And so make it what you want it to be, and don't worry about if other people are going to like it or not. And that goes with anything in life.